What happens when a hitmaker hits a breaking point? Colton Dixon's new song, The Love I Have For You, was born out of a moment he wasn't sure he could keep going. And today, he's telling the story behind it.
Sometimes I write songs for other people or based on other people's testimonies, but this one was straight out of the Colton Dixon journal, man.
I'm David Sams, and today on Contagious Influencers of America, I'm talking to someone whose music has inspired millions, Colton Dixon. Now, you may know him from American Idol, but he's become one of the biggest voices in Christian music today, with nearly 1 billion streams, multiple #1 hits, and a heart that's as real as it gets. He's performed everywhere from the Grand Ole Opry to the White House Christmas tree lighting, and he continues to pour his heart into songs that encourage, uplift, and unite people from all walks of life. Colton opens up about fatherhood, forgiveness, anxiety, and the revival he's seeing all across the country today. We'll also talk about his new music, his Christmas single, Home for Christmas, and his deeply personal track, The Love I Have For You. Trust me, you'll want to hear the story behind that song. Let's get right to it. My interview with Colton Dixon. All right, let's start out with an easy one. I guess it's easy. Okay, your daughter's now what, 5?
Yeah, the girls are 5, which is crazy.
All right, so it's been a while since you've been over here. Probably a year and a half or something, right? So.
Yeah,
so,
or maybe
so
2
what
years.
What have you learned in the last 2 years?
Oh, that I know absolutely nothing. Man, kids are like a microscope onto yourself. They show you your strengths, your weaknesses, and everything in between. But man, I'm surprised at how much they teach me, actually, just how pure their look on life is, and whether it be, forgiving one another for something that they did or said or whatever, just how quick they are to do that. It's, I think it's a lesson we all can learn from. But I'm constantly amazed at how much I learn from them every day.
So what do you think the #1 thing that you've learned over the past 5 years, having, kids?
The #1 thing that it's taught me or given me insight into is how much God really loves us. When I met my girls for the first time, I remember having the thought, like, there's nothing I wouldn't do for these 2 girls, and feeling that nudge from God, just saying, I feel the same way about you. I feel like having kids just kind of opens up a whole nother understanding of what love really is supposed to look like. And they reaffirm that every single day.
I want to talk a little bit about what's going on around the country on college campuses, this sort of a revival thing that's happening that we've seen. And we've seen this explosion, especially with young men, which is not the norm, or
right.
It hasn't been in the past.
Right.
What do you think's going on?
Man, I think Jesus is coming back really soon. That's what I think's happening. And it's so encouraging to see young men who I would have thought to be one of the last people to really dive into Christianity and spirituality, just for the reasons of like keeping up a facade of being cool or whatever. It's like, man, that's gone. That's history. It is now cool to be diving head first into what God has for you in your life, and obviously with what's transpired even recently, I think has really sparked not just college campuses, but people all over the world. I know me and my family, it's just kind of reignited a flame to finish the life that we have strong and to go after what we know we need to.
So, there's so much division in the country today. Tell me a story about your life as it has been, let's just say, on the road. What you've seen happen with the division and the number of people that are out there, they just don't seem to have a purpose. What's been your experience on the road with all the craziness that's gone on?
Sure. I feel like we don't always get to get out and see a city, whenever we're traveling. Sometimes we see the inside of a tour bus and the inside of a venue, and unfortunately that's all we have time for that day. But I've actually been pretty encouraged to see the amount of young people come out to shows, elementary school all the way up through high school and college. And man, they have a fire in them that no man can put out. And that's just, that rubs off on me. Even from being on stage, I can just see and feel the excitement and the drive and the passion that they have for what they believe in. And I don't know about you, that's super encouraging to me. I feel like we didn't have that 10 years ago, or at least we weren't hearing about it like we are now, or seeing it. And so maybe an opposite response than what you were looking for. I know there's some chaos and some crazy out there in the world, but I've actually been pretty encouraged by the people at least coming out to our shows. It's been quite remarkable.
People are talking a lot about forgiveness right now. Do you have a story of forgiveness and how it's impacted you, and personal story you can talk about?
Yeah, sure. I want to make sure this is. It's funny, even just sitting here thinking about a story of forgiveness. Maybe even this is a testimony in and of itself, but I don't feel like I've been wronged to the point of, even having a forgiveness story in my head and even thinking about me with others. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm sure I've said and done the wrong thing at the wrong time, and someone's taken offense to that. But if there's anything like that in someone's heart, one thing I can say, maybe without naming names, was on the road with someone that I call a brother, and after being on the road with someone for any length of time, the opportunity, for taking offense will raise its hand. And at one point or another, we kind of got off on a weird foot, and just remember, just instead of letting that fester and letting it grow, we each kind of saw it and took the opportunity to go, hey, I don't know what happened here. Whoever on our team was saying what, but let's just take this head on here and be like, dude, I love you and love your team and I love your ministry. And that was reciprocated. And whatever was said, I apologize on behalf of my team and vice versa. And let's move forward and keep this thing trucking along. And I think that's so important. Ultimately, it's our decision to take offense over what someone else has done. But the moment you let it fester and stir, it's not harming the other person. Even if they're the one who's done something against you, it's hurting you, right? You have the opportunity to go to that person and say, hey, this thing rubbed me the wrong way, or it hurt me. And something that I even saw recently was kind of, it was so wild to see this happening in real time, for all of us to watch, was the Forrest Frank, Corey Asbury thing. For those who don't know, Corey Asbury broke his back, wrote a song about it. Forrest Frank broke his back, wrote a song about it. And Corey Asbury, along with a lot of other influencers, artists, I don't think they were intentionally making light of what happened, but they were, kind of joking around and writing kind of a fake song just for content, the things we do for content, but I think it kind of rubbed Forrest the wrong way. Instead of sitting back and having a chip on his shoulder towards Corey, he reached out to Corey, and we got to watch this unfold of forgiveness happen right in front of our face. And it was just beautiful. I think that we need more of that in the church, more of that brother to brother in Christ and sister to sister in Christ. And don't let it fester. Attack it head on. That's what I'd say.
Keep the Faith, we have a strong initiative, mental health initiative, and a lot of that is all about anxiety, for example. And I know you've dealt with that in the past, you and your wife, when you were having your kids and all that. Have you had issues or battles with anxiety over the last few years? And if so, how have you dealt with that?
Yeah.
I certainly have.
Yeah, sure. I actually, my shameless plug, but my latest song, the first line in the song is, "I woke up feeling anxious." And, I for a long time, I felt like I never dealt with it. I never related to people who dealt with it. I'm just being honest with you. But then I realized, I'm like, oh, this is just kind of taking a different shape than I've seen in other people. I like to control things, right? I'm in my business, in my music ministry, it's also business. I'm the boss, right? So I kind of like getting to have my hand in a variety of things and helping make those decisions, but kind of knowing at the end of the day, like I'm the yay or nay. But that would also follow me home to my family as well. And my wife and I are in this together. We have equal say, and trying to balance that was creating this like anxiety thing, and even just laying my plan down, and letting God's plan take over, it took more than it should have, right? And I felt that. But one thing I will say about anxiety: never take ownership of anything that the devil has for you, right? So I know it might seem over the top or really specific, but the moment you take ownership of it and you say, well, yeah, my anxiety or my sickness or my whatever, it's like you're attaching your name and likeness to something that God never planned for you. I believe that God's plans for you are to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. And anxiety doesn't fall in that category. Right. We're still going to wrestle with things, and life is still going to prove to be difficult in seasons. But man, rely on what God has for you and stand on that promise instead of taking ownership of what the enemy has for you.
How much of the day do you look at your screen? Do you look at your phone?
Too much. Way too much. Sometimes it's for work, but too often I'll find myself doom scrolling and be consuming what should be a tool for producing. And man, it's my wife is really good about this, and she'll remind me, and we have really good conversations about this actually. But I think the moment that you start treating these tools that we have, social media or editing apps or whatever, you start treating it like a consumer, we're in trouble. And it's okay to keep up with your friends and to check in with what they're doing, but just be mindful that, man, it's that app is created specifically to get you addicted to it. It is. So just be mindful. If you have to set guidelines on your phone, it may seem weird, but it's worth it. Sometimes weird is worth it, So don't be afraid to keep those limitations on you.
What role do you think AI is going to play in the music business?
Man, I'm still trying to figure this out, to be honest with you. I think that there are elements of AI that are useful if you use it as a tool. But again, if you start using it as a crutch or as a replacement, that's when we're going to start having issues, and we're already starting to see some of those issues. Man, I was reading something that some guy created a band. I don't even remember the name of the artist of the band, but it was getting way more streams than I have ever gotten in my career. And it's this completely made up, AI band, from the voice to the lyrics. I mean, everything about it was AI. And I'm like, man, that's kind of scary. Just as someone who pours his heart and soul into what I do, it's crazy to me to think that that something that does not have a heart or a soul is able to garner more audience than I am. So one thing I am encouraged by is, even though AI can do a lot of things that I can't, I do have a heart and I have a soul, and that's something that AI will never have. So I believe that just like there's still a huge audience for people wanting to drive cars with engines in them, right? Like versus having the electric car. I think that people are still going to want to hear music and the arts with a real person behind it. So I'm encouraged on that side, but I'm also like, man, who knows what AI is going to be capable of tomorrow?
You know, not that I've been around this long, but I've been around for quite a while, and over the years, you see things evolve, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, 100 years ago, when we had silent pictures, and all of a sudden we had talkies. There were a lot of actors out of business because they didn't have the voice.
Right, sure.
They may have the look, but didn't have the voice.
Yeah.
And everybody would say, why do we need people to talk?
Right.
Right?
Sure.
What do we need that for?
Right.
And then there was this whole big thing. I'm in the Directors Guild. There was a whole big thing when we made the transition from film to video. It's like, those aren't real movies, because it's not being shot on 35 millimeter film. It's like,
sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Right?
And now you have movies being shot on an iPhone, which is crazy.
And then you have CGI. Yeah. What's real about that?
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I see it as part of art. It's obviously you got to know how to use it and use it in the proper way.
Yeah.
But with all those things, they had to learn the same thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Why do you think? What do you think there's so much fear around AI?
Because it's unknown. I think we fear what we can't understand or don't bother to educate ourselves with. I mean, that opens up a whole nother conversation about, tons of other things. But with AI specifically, I mean, the possibilities are so unknown. And we've already kind of seen firsthand, even if they've not replaced people with jobs, it has the ability to do so. Mm-hmm. So I think that in and of itself is like, that's a little scary. Like, I would hate for this cloud-based, brain in a computer to potentially like be able to replace what I do. I wonder if that's the fear attached.
But as far as I know, it can't tour yet.
Right. You could set up a laptop technically, but yeah, maybe spend a lot of money on a hologram. But yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that is true. I think we're in the clear at least for a couple of years on touring. Yeah.
a couple of years. There you go. Let's talk about if a listener walked away from your music remembering just one message, what would you hope that that message would be?
Oh man. Our motto with me and my team is to leave people better than they were before they walked into a show or before they pressed play on a song. Never want them being worse off. And I guess my goal is to provide them with tools to be able to navigate life. Like whether that be a promise of God that I consider to be a tool, or something more practical. I want that tool belt to be full when they leave, and it's funny. I guess that's on the ministry or the touring side or the music side. But my wife pointed this out to me maybe a year ago. We were at a funeral for someone, and she's like, what's really interesting? It's like pretty much every funeral I've ever been to, no one really talks about what they've accomplished, but it's more so about how they made people feel. And man, I've thought about that a lot since then. There's actually a memorial service taking place today for a friend of ours named Patsy, just amazing minister, but the whole time, watched a little bit on my way here, just how she made people feel. and how she was relentless for loving people through God's eyes, and I guess if you boil it down, if people were to leave one of my shows or leave an encounter with me, I would hope that they would say, he loved me and he saw me through God's eyes. That would be the ultimate compliment to me. So, yeah.
I want to talk about your 2 singles a minute, but any special Christmas wishes that you've had over the years that have come true? And how about a special song, tradition, or memory to share? What makes Christmas special in your home? Friends, finding something to watch that's actually safe for the whole family and still good can feel nearly impossible these days. That's why I want to tell you about something that's really different, something really special. It's called Wonder Project, a new streaming platform on Prime Video filled with courageous stories that inspire hope and restore faith in things worth believing in. And at the heart of it all is someone you probably may know. He's a good friend, the director behind I Can Only Imagine, Jesus Revolution, and the creator of House of David. Meet John Irwin, the founder of Wonder Project.
I'm John, founder of Wonder and creator of House of David, which is on the Wonder Project on Prime right now. You can subscribe. You might be asking, what is Wonder Project? Well, I'm also a father of 4. And I can't ever find anything for my family to watch together. And I was asking a friend a few years ago, why can there not be an HBO for the faith audience globally? Why can't we have a channel that curates the programming that we love, that makes the shows no one else will make? And that became Wonder Project. So I want you to know, I'm making this for my family. It's a collection of the movies and series that I absolutely love, edited versions of movie favorites. That you can watch with your kids. One of the only places in streaming you can do that. And my show, House of David Season 2, is premiering exclusively on Wonder Project. It's there right now. Subscribe today. Hey, if you really believe in what we're doing, subscribe to the annual plan of Wonder Project on Prime right now. I hope you enjoy House of David, and I hope you love the library we are curating just for you.
So if you're ready for entertainment that actually inspires, check out Wonder Project on Prime Video. Subscribe to the annual plan today and save 17%. That's like getting 2 months free. And when you subscribe to an annual plan with Wonder Project on Prime Video, you do more than save money and gain access to a year of quality entertainment you can trust. You support a movement to bring more faith, family, and values-driven entertainment to the world. So join the community today.
What makes Christmas so special for me and my family? It's honestly just being together. It's why I chose to even rewrite the classic I'll Be Home for Christmas. No matter where I am in the world, I know the tagline, it might take a plane, a train, or the back of a bus, but I'm going to be home for Christmas. That's home is not necessarily just one place, here in Tennessee, or if we're spending more time in California, wherever we are in the world, home is wherever they are. So that's what makes Christmas so special for us.
And tell me about your Christmas single.
Yeah. So I chose to rewrite the classic I'll Be Home for Christmas, called it Home for Christmas. And it's just a fun reimagining of this idea that home is wherever family is, right? So no matter where I am in the world, I say it might take a plane, a train, or the back of a bus, but I'm going to make it home for Christmas. And that's the spirit of the song. It's brought a lot of joy to me and my family, and I hope it brings a lot of joy to you too.
And tell me about your single.
Yeah. The Love I Have for You was actually inspired by these last couple of years. Sometimes I write songs for other people or based on other people's testimonies, but this one was straight out of the Colton Dixon journal, man. Amazing past couple years, but was really busy trying to be the best artist I can be, the best husband I could be, the best dad I could be. And I felt myself having a hard time being able to do the three of those well. I would have to pick and choose, which I didn't want to be in that place. So kind of wrestling with God, saying, God, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, Thank you for blessing the career. It's amazing, but how do I navigate this? And I believe he took me to Romans 8, which says that we are more than conquerors because of the love that I have for you, the love that we carry. Two things. The fact that he said we are more than conquerors kind of blows my mind. A conqueror would have been fine. I would have been okay with that. But we are even more than that because of how much God loves us. And that's the love that we carry. So it's not out of a place of striving or having to do the right thing even necessarily. God loves us regardless. His love knows no bounds. So living out of that place of victory, are we able to then overcome and conquer anything that we set our minds to? So this song really helped me in a kind of a tight spot, and I pray that it does the same for you as well.
Thanks again, Colton, and thank you for being a part of the Keep the Faith Charities Christmas Wish Drive. This year, we're keeping it simple: gas and groceries. A full pantry and a full tank of gas can make a huge difference for a family that's hurting. Now, you can help by giving or by letting us know of someone who needs a little extra help. Just head on over to KeepTheFaithCharities.org to donate or to nominate a family. And don't forget, we're streaming the Christmas Wish channel 24/7 right now. All you have to do is download the free app on your iPhone or Android. It's free and available right now, the Christmas Wish channel app. Together we can fill tanks, stock pantries, and warm a whole lot of hearts. So please do participate. And if you want more great conversations that inspire and uplift, make sure to subscribe to Contagious Influencers of America. And all you have to do is go to ContagiousInfluencers.com. You'll see a whole lot of great episodes. Well, some of them are great. Some of them are better than others. But there's almost 300 of them to choose from in case you need a little something extra to do this holiday season. So check that out at ContagiousInfluencers.com. Until next time, I'm David Sams. Go out there this week and live that life in living color, because it sure is a heck of a lot more interesting than living it in black and white. I'll see you next time.